What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. So last episode we took care of an owlbear, we met some absolutists in the woods, and we did come back to camp and catch up with everybody. We are still yet to end the day and get some rest, so let's take care of that now. Let's auto-select this. Use whatever we're using. I'm gonna pick and choose what I use.
Flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong. Or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like. I swear.
Really? Because it looks like you're about to bite me in my
I'm gonna
sleep.
hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
Define
There
her.
in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
And nobody's surprised if anybody saw the marks on his neck and the teeth. How long since you killed someone? Days? Hours?
I've never killed anyone. Well, not for food. I feed on animals. Bulls. Deer. Kobolds. Whatever I can get. But it's not enough. Not if I have to fight. I feel so weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer. Fight better. Please.
Yeah, that won't be happening.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
Why didn't you tell me?
At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me.
Maybe I do believe you, but you won't be drinking my blood. Now, I'm not going to be jamming a stake through your ribs anytime soon. You are quite useful, and you've been chill enough, aside from this one exception, so I can give you a second chance here.
Thank you. Do you think you could trust me just a little further?
Definitely not.
I only need a taste. I swear.
Are you mad? No.
No. No, of course. Silly of me to even ask.
It is.
I'll go and find something on four legs to eat, I suppose.
That would be a good idea.
See you in the morning.
We can let him go.
You watch him stalk away, slumped, sulking, and ready to kill.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to kill him outright. I'm not prepared to let a vampire leech off me when we're back at camp. The fact that he tried to do it secretly in our sleep says enough. And here we have a good old boy Scratch. We'll go ahead and talk to him before we head out too. Make sure we put on Sleep with Animals. And let's see what Astarion's got going on here.
Morning. I hope last night's little unpleasantness hasn't left a bad taste in your... Well...
Poor choice of words.
I hope there are no bad feelings.
And not at all. Having a vampire on our side could be useful.
Indeed it could. These are very helpful in a fight. Of course, I can't summon wolves or turn to mist like a true vampire. Being a spawn has its drawbacks.
Is that how you can stand in the sun? Because you're not a true vampire?
Oh no. I should be cinders in this light. I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Standing in the sun, wading through a river, wandering into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane activities now. As for my other
Thanks
quests,
to the tadpole, no doubt.
we can figure those out in time.
What's causing this? The Mind Flayer Parasite?
That's my theory, but who knows?
I imagine
I'm just
the
glad
Mind
you're
Flayer
sensible about these,
telekinetic essence kind of does something to counteract the rules, like he said.
Turn up with torches and pitchforks.
I suppose on a technical level, he isn't technically a vampire anymore. He should be a Mind Flayer.
Well,
He just didn't
that
change.
explains the pallor. Given our group's nature, I don't see much harm. We're each monsters in the making, after all.
A fair point.
For his sake, he best not develop an appetite for Githyanki.
Enough. We need him. Like it or not.
He's not wrong. We're bound together, no matter what comes.
Fine. He stays till he's no longer of use. Besides, my flesh is not so easily tasted. Unless, of course, I have offered it.
There now.
That's an interesting
We're
response,
friends
Laser.
again. Shall we go? There's a long day ahead of us.
So, that took a turn that I didn't expect. Dr. Scratch.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
You too. I'm sorry about what happened to your master.
Master. Friend. I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. I'll never forget him. But I'm glad to have met you.
He's a good boy. Although petting the dog that talks to you and is like a person is a little strange. It's like giving somebody you just met at the post office like head scratches. Alright, that'll do. He's had his head pats. We're about ready to head on out. I did respec some of our companions here in the meantime. I made Lae'zel. Lae'zel is the same. She's still a battle master. I just juggled her things. Astarion is the same too. He's an assassin rogue. I just juggled his stats. The biggest change is in Shadowheart. I took Shadowheart and we respec her into a light domain cleric, which is not so important now, but it will be later. And it seems like maybe I made a mistake here. The game is saying you need charisma for her, but I actually don't think so. Alas. We'll mess with it again if we need to. She's a light domain cleric now, which is going to come in very handy later when we start getting our radiating build going in. She has something to talk to us about, actually. Let's see.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Something important.
Yeah, well, now I'm intrigued. Do continue.
I could have died in that pod, back on the Nautiloid. You could have died, spending precious moments trying to free me, but you did it anyway. I owe you my life. I'm trying to say that you've earned my trust in a way very few ever have. I want that to mean something. I want you to know more about me, at least from what I can remember. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a dark justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a dark justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior.
Now, why would she try and prevent you from rising up the ranks, if that's the whole point of the order?
Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable.
Do you think she'll ever relent and make you a dark justiciar?
I don't know. Perhaps if I succeed in my mission and reach Baldur's Gate. Hope has little place amongst Lady Shah's children. It's an illusion, a distraction. But for this, I hope my time will yet come.
I don't understand. Why be so secret about such an ambition?
Dark justiciars are hated by many, judged to be ruthless fanatics. Even the few who would accept a follower of Lady Shah would likely balk at a justiciar in their midst. But there's a simpler answer to your question. I simply forgot about the desire I had until I saw some things that reminded me. Now, I can't get it out of my mind.
Well, maybe you would think about her a little differently if she led with that, but of course she didn't, and we've learned and seen enough about her to at least know she's trustworthy at a face value, so her ambition to become something with her religion is, again, it's none of my business, it's her decision. Maybe things will change going forward, but for now, she's solid enough. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I had a feeling you'd be understanding.
Now let's head out. Yeah, her business with her god that's her business, it's not mine. I'm not gonna judge her or demand that she changes her worship. I'll give my opinion if she asks. But I'm not gonna be forcing her in or out of any kind of situation like that. That's her business. And now that good old Scratch is gone, we can actually have a little chit-chat with Gomwick. Didn't want to do this in front of the good old boy. He might have got a little upset.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Where are you from?
From Trail.
Why were you in the forest?
Let us delivery to Baldur's gates.
Where did you keep the letters?
In bag. Standard issue.
We did already ruffle through your pockets. What's your profession?
Runner. Fleetfoot. Courier company.
What happened to you?
Pack of gnolls. Claws. Teeth.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Yeah, gnolls are heavy hitters. They don't play nice. Kind of like hyenas almost. At least that's what they remind me of. And now, we will head up there much later. That's Will's quest. We're not going to be doing that for now. For right now, we're going to head on down this way to the other side of this bridge. We do have business at that bridge. In fact, eventually,
That's curious.
we'll likely be heading up this way, up this little path. But I do want to check out that bridge
Not a
first.
chance I'll fit in there.
Yeah, we would have to be a gnome or something to get in there. Loot the honey from the beehive, though. Yeah, we'll be running up here eventually, but I do want to check out that bridge.
I'll take that.
Looked like there had been some travelers on the road.
You fight well, but you're so efficient. Why not have a little fun?
Fun. I fight to win, not to make spectacles.
Indeed.
What a waste.
Exsanguinated boar. Astarion's handiwork, huh?
It looks healthy, but it's stone dead.
You have any comments on that, Astarion?
Who cares about some pig? It's dead. Let's go.
You have any thoughts about that pig?
Yes.
Interesting. I thought he might have had a comment. It's certainly part of his kill. We did send him off last night.
Dead goblins. Dead travelers.
Goblins drawing. Drawn in thick charcoal lines upon an animal skin, this childlike portrait depicts 3 stick figures, a goblin with sparks in its hands, a square humanoid figure, and what seems to be an elf. Each of them is wearing a simple crown. Might be a little hint to what we're going to face when we finally go to the goblins' little stronghold. That's where Priestess Good is, that our good friend Saza told us about after death.
Baldur's Gate Astarion. A sweetheart, perhaps?
No sweethearts, no. I prefer them savory.
I wonder.
What I get for trying to strike
Let me find out what happened to these people.
Respond.
I would like to know.
The corpse has nothing to say.
What about one of the goblins?
The corpse has nothing to say.
I was hoping I could figure out what actually happened to these people here. Whole bunch of dead adventurers. Send the potatoes to camp. Lots and lots of free food products, which is exactly what I need. We're gonna be resting a whole lot, so... Yeah, it seems like they just got ambushed on the road by goblins. I guess they didn't know the little stronghold was up yonder. And that sucks. Really wanted information from him. Maybe this one by the gate, the tieflin. Now we're not actually gonna go in this way. That's certainly not the way we're taking inside this little village. It'll be a categorically bad idea. As Shadowheart just eloquently pointed out, they're laying an ambush. So, let's see if our tieflin friend has anything to say to us.
The corpse does not respond.
They do not. I mean, it's pretty easy to deduct what happened here, but thought they might have had some information for us, maybe.
Shadowheart. Such a grim name.
Well, since we know that there's a little ambush headed up in there, let's swing up this sideline.
Blatantly in my neck when you say that, please.
Oh, but do keep calling her Flower. She'll love that.
I love party banter. Ever since I played Dragon Age Origins, I've loved that as a feature in video games.
Weapon blueprints. A master blacksmith's work.
Simple.
Dated instructions.
Simple design. Hardly the pinnacle of metalcraft.
Let's have a look.
Damn. Okay, Laser. Doesn't keep up with the Yankee craftsmanship, I take it. Let's just take this guy out while he's snoozing. Astarion. Oh, you can actually... Yeah, here, you said you're thirsty, right? Take a drink of bugbear. Yeah, I should put him down. Make sure I send these to Lae'zel, not Shadowheart. She doesn't really have the strength to be a carry box for us. Make sure we don't grab those rotten eggs by accident.
Time to press ahead.
Alright. Now, as hinted at, there's a huge goblin presence in this village. And we are going to clean all that out eventually. But I want to check up here first. I'm going to investigate this shabby barn here in a second. Find a rather unfortunate situation going on in there. I wonder, is there something up here? Probably not. Usually if the camera doesn't let you go there, then you can't go there. It's a good general rule of thumb. Very interesting sounds going on in here. When in Rome, right? Let's check.
Approach. A guttural scream and a succession of quick bangs rattle the door. Then, a low moan. Someone, or something, is having a bit of fun.
Well, we do want XP. I'd hate to interrupt, but...
Leave it. Whoever's inside doesn't want an audience, and I don't want to fight.
Well, look at it this way, Shadowheart. If we interrupt them and kill them, it'll be like recycling. They can come and go at the same time. Oh.
What the hell are you doing?
Yikes. Apologies. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Ruined. Smash.
Ruined.
Oh, smash.
Oh god, my eyes. I'm ruined.
Still have a half ogre in the making.
Okay, let's you are chunky. Let's focus you. Yeah, let's make sure that we ruin Buthia before she gets a chance to do anything with that. Right, Shadowheart. You have Radiance of the Dawn, but I'm kind of in the way for that. Here, let's do this first. You know, I didn't even put Symbiotic Entity up. There we go.
You've made a grave mistake.
Now we are moving as far back as we can get back, which is unfortunately not that far. I put myself in a really bad spot there, actually.
Finish this.
Alright, Shadowheart. With a bit of luck, we can get a Radiating Orb on this. Beautiful. She has 2 stacks of that now. We take the Spiritual Weapon. I think we do. I think we use Spiritual Weapon on this encounter. We'll spawn that right up on them. Give them something to look at.
Time to strike. No time to
Lae'zel, I don't see any reason why you can't just go in and introduce yourself, so... Let's give you the big jump. Give you Action Surge. Disarming attack. Now let's see if we can give you Faerûn. You have advantage. We can. Beautiful.
Get out!
We gave this guy plenty of things. If you're wondering why she attacked back, that's because of the rolling dice that I gave her riposte in Battlemaster. So whenever somebody swings at her and it gives any kind of miss, she's gonna swing back. So that's 2 turns of Radiating Orb and Faerûn. Beautiful. Now Astarion should be able to come on in and finish this. Indeed. Shadowheart, introduce yourself. He has blinded now, so he's just stacked full of status effects. He ain't doing nothing. And this should be the end for him.
Ever walk in on a bugbear and an ogre?
Yeah, you're telling me.
I'll refrain from detailing my conquests, lest you die of embarrassment.
Spend some time with some ogres, have you? Yeah, I really didn't need to know that kind of information, Lae'zel. I could have died without that knowledge. Now, there's no way you'll talk to me, right?
Corpse seems willing to speak, but not to its killer.
Interesting. I don't actually know if there's any way to get around that. Maybe I'd juggle it through the companions or something, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. What I would love to do is read this book. The book naturally falls to a dog-eared page in which Bumpo describes the more unusual races he's met in his travels. But they weren't half so strange as the bird folk. First, Arakocra I had met had the head of a parrot, the body of a human, and wings also of a parrot. I tried not to stare, but it was real hard. Turns out she was one of a motley party, because around her table were a tabaxi, catfolk, a genasi, element folk, and a turtle folk. Trying to act casual, I asked what the hell they all were. They ignored me, but I can't blame them. To them, I must have looked awfully dull and average, for they were the first of their kind I'd seen, but I was just one of a billion boring humans to them. That would be kind of how that would work in a land where humans are so vast. I imagine if aliens were ever to come on down to Earth and be a thing, I imagine that's kind of how it would go too. We'd be like, what the hell are you? And they'd be like, you are a strange, unevolved people. Azuth, the god of wizards all, who spend their whole lives learning. He grants their spells, both big and small, for Mistress always yearning. Bane the tyrant, the black hand, makes sure the strong do rule. He spreads his darkness through the land, praised by the harsh and cruel. The Shaba will bring forth your doom, unless you chant her prayer. Split from Timora in the womb, she brings bad luck to spare. Wonderful we are getting loot. Plenty of camp supplies and things to sell whenever we make it back to the Grove. Which I'll probably swing back there periodically when we're done adventuring in certain places. Would make sense to me. And here's our dagger +1. Astarion is in the market for another boosted dagger.
A feast fit for an ogre. You notice a peculiar dagger protruding from the tough, leathery meat.
Well,
Okay, Astarion, let's see if you can use your dexterity here to wiggle this out.
Fit for an ogre. You notice a peculiar dagger protruding from the tough, leathery meat.
You'll notice too, you see he has a +1 from Happy. That's because he drank blood. When you make him drink blood in fights like that with the bite attack, he gets a buff. His stats. Let's investigate this Astarion. Oof. Doesn't have much of a keen eye, does he? We'll roll one more time with inspiration. Much better.
You notice the blade is at an angle to the meat's grain. If you align the dagger with the grain, it should slip out easily.
There we go. Line the dagger with the meat's grain and pull.
Thanks to your keen eye, the dagger glides smoothly out of the mystery meat.
Pretty nice looking dagger. And beautiful. Now he has +1 enchanted full weapon sets.
What to do?
This meat's been cooked enough.
Step forward.
Swing on down this way, and then we'll head into the little village here. You look like a chest should be buried among here somewhere. Indeed.
What's that?
Maybe over here too, actually, looking at this. There is lots of, you see how we were standing in mud there, so we took debuffs. There's a lot of situational and environmental things you gotta look out for in these games, which can make things quite interesting. You can also play with it too, like if there is an enemy, for example, that's hiding in water, you can go ahead and punish the hell out of that with an electricity thing. Oil lamp. Got myself. A curious book.
Wine. A reader with
There it
decadent
is.
tastes, perhaps.
A useful little book.
Or maybe a bit of a drinking problem.
Yeah, at least he was being productive and reading at the same time. Let's take a look up here. They have a warg. They have a bunch of goblins and they're messing with somebody. Here's somebody wailing and screaming. There he is. Go ahead and help him. Couldn't hurt to have somebody ingratiated to us, right? We do have a decent chunk of goblins to deal with in this village, actually, so I'm gonna hang a left before we go help our friend that's tied up right there.
What a day.
Astarion, you're gonna lead the party here for a second. And this is the reason why. Let's sneak on in behind this guy. Introduce yourself. Beautiful. I do like to take advantage of stealth at the start of combat like that where I can. You'll notice in a couple of encounters, if I can get like a cheeky advantage attack when I first walk into the scenario, I will. Hold the key there. What are you for? I'll definitely yoink it, whatever it's for. Now, I'm sure if we burn this cobweb, we'd probably be able to drop down to wherever it goes, but I'm not really interested in dropping down into a mystery spot. At least not right now. It's a Lunine necklace.
Moon Witch rubbish. How much time did some dim-witted artisan waste on that?
Got a Hillcliff's journal. The pupil surpasses the teacher. My master weapons are almost complete. There's just one component left. Samson says the designs are a failure. But what's he know? He can barely see past his own belly. I stashed the prototypes and blueprints for now. But just you wait, Samson. Your legend is fading, and a new one will rise in its place. Regarding strange riders in these parts. The date on this letter has faded with time, but the paper alone indicates great age. My fellow citizens, for fellow citizens we are, like it or not. I print and post multiple copies of this notice in the region, at no small expense to myself, because I feel a growing concern and alarm at the presence of strange riders in these parts of late. Many of you will have seen them, tramping through our forests and towns under the guise of patrol. They claim they are guardians, sent from Elturel to protect the borders of the great and holy nation of Elturgard. Don't be fooled by shining armor or handsome mounts. I never bent the knee to any Elturgard, and I never asked any metal jester to come peering over my garden fence. As you all know, I'm descended direct from the original Selûnite settlers along these banks, and I have a half-elven great uncle who'll swear to it. We're peaceable folk, and we get on with the druids well enough, but I pay no fealty or tax to any far-off city I can't even find on a map. I took no small pleasure in telling these thugs just that, and I urge you to do the same. They call themselves Hell Riders. I call them interlopers, and they can bugger off to the hells, them and their city both. With grave concern and serious intent, Damon Brisker, proud and free, citizen of the Heartlands. So Elturel and the Hell Riders, I believe that's Zevlor. I think Zevlor is from Elturel. He's probably talking about Zevlor, or at least that band of Hellions. Tieflings, I guess, is the correct term for them. Alright, let's go put a stop to this endless wailing. Being very dramatic. I'm gonna drop a save before we head into this encounter, just in case. I'm gonna have to rehash everything that I just did.
Best think ahead, or I'm lost.
Now, surprisingly, this encounter, I'm actually not gonna take advantage of the stealth like that. I'm just gonna saunter on in.
What have we got here? Oh, stop this thing!
The goblin seems unsure whether to bow to you or attack.
What do you want? Oh, I mean, what do you need?
Get a little skittish around Drow, huh? An explanation. Tell me what you're doing with that deep gnome at once.
You are blessed, ain't ya? A true soul?
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
He's trying to establish a pecking order here. Not gonna do anything to do with Illithid. We won't be doing any of that. Cease your babbling. What did you mean?
You're not blessed. If you ain't with the Absolute, you're the enemy.
I think we've had enough playing around here, so let's just attack him.
Whoa, quick, get him!
Yeah, we had plenty of conversation here. No need to keep entertaining that. Take care of him right off the bat. Try and get as many of these down as we can right off rip.
On the move.
Shadowheart, I want you. Drop him right in the middle. That'll work for us. Now, let's see. What does this do again before I go ahead and spam this? Sun's divine power dispels any magical darkness, and it does radiant damage. It's gonna hit everything in this radius. Beautiful. And they all have radiating orb. Very good synergy. with her up a tad.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Right now, Fezzerk, he is gonna be a coward when it's his time, so we're not gonna attack him. Like to slaughter his friends before he decides to cut and run. Wonderful.
Time to strike.
Now, Lae'zel, your favorite part. I think she can just attack. Don't need her to expend more points than she needs to. They're attacking the spirit weapon. They took the bait. Another reason why I like those, actually, because they'll just sit there and take heat for you. It's like a free tank, basically. Oh, that was cheeky. The explosive was cheeky. I didn't like that, you little shit. Yeah, I did not enjoy that.
Can't afford to let up.
Of course, we don't have the prayer of healing for Shadowheart either. Okay, heal yourself, first things first. He's easy enough to kill whenever we like.
Let's spill some blood.
Thank you, Astarion.
Let's do it. Another fight. Let's go.
Alright, so I'm gonna use Lae'zel to just kill him when the time has come. I know we're dumping a decent chunk of points here, but
Into the chase.
Lae'zel is having the biggest problem here, so we'll heal her up. Man, that explosive is cheeky.
Victory awaits.
Alright, Fitzuk. Welcome to the Thunderdome, friend. I'll take care of him. He doesn't get to run because he died outright. Get you some more health if we can.
Let my name be known.
Big swing attack. Alright, 2 goblins left. As long as they don't attack Lae'zel, we might be okay. Never mind, they missed. Doesn't even matter that they attacked Lae'zel. There's a goblin hiding back there, I think, but we'll deal with that later. Where is the... Oh, I see. You're just unconscious. I see, I see.
Come on, then.
Okay.
Keep fighting.
Almost down. 35. Not enough movement speed on that. 55. And 50. Now let's move her up a little. Does that change our odds? It doesn't. You know
Sometimes
what?
the only way out is through.
Let's relax on this for a second. What can we do about this? I'm sure Lae'zel is going to get him done either way, so it doesn't necessarily matter. Just fling a fireball at him.
I am fury.
Yeah, I think Lae'zel will be able to finish him off here if she hits. Of course she didn't. Well, thankfully he was stupid enough to attack the spirit weapon. And now he's dead regardless. Wonderful.
Keep going a little longer now.
A little suspect, actually. That fire ended up being rougher than I wanted it to be. We'll help the gnome friend here in a sec.
I wanted the easy one.
I imagine Fezzik isn't going to have much to say to me, given that I just slaughtered him, but he is a goblin, so maybe he doesn't have
To make camp soon.
the wherewithal, even in death, to refuse me. No survivors here. Certainly not letting a random goblin on the highway here live. Wake up and go report back to his friends. We don't want that. You have a very heavy great axe, which is definitely going in Lae'zel's inventory, not anybody else's.
Corpse seems willing to speak.
Yeah, I thought so. It's a shame there's no get around for that. I'd like to be able to interrogate people that I killed myself.
Shadowheart's attention is fixed on a damaged old statue.
We should keep moving.
Another episode. Why does this keep happening to you?
You already know as much as I do. Best ignore it. As long as it doesn't hamper us too much.
Now, what statue is this? This is a Selûnite village, correct? So this is likely a statue of Selûne. I think that probably explains why she had so much pain right there. She's near a Selûne statue. We'll get our friend down. No sense just leaving him spinning. Actually take all these goblin items and sell the shit out of those later. Hold your horses. There's loot here, friend. There is going to be a surprise series coming up here soon, by the way. I have everything installed and the settings set up, so... Maybe I'll start that after we do this. Let's chit-chat to him before we let him down. What's in it for me?
Free me and find out!
That's fair enough. He drives a hard bargain. Of course, I would have helped him either way, but if he's going to pay me, he's going to pay me. Saving the world ain't free either.
Those pustulant thugs! Well, get on with it.
Get on with what?
I'm a deep gnome, you're a drow. You helped me, now you plan to enslave me.
Oh, if you knew anything about me, you'd know it couldn't be further from the truth of that. That's not what I want.
What then? Torture? Blood sport? Or perhaps just a good old-fashioned walloping?
I'd rather know how you got caught.
My own fault, really. I should have dropped my pack and outrun those bastards. Alas. Take my pack, if you can find it. The only reason those goblins caught me was its weight. I'll travel lightly from now on.
You're a little far from home for a deep gnome.
Ignorance is alive and well, it seems. Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found. But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark. Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there.
That is a hell of a friend.
My friends.
And I have a lot of respect for people like that.
I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.
Yeah, that's usually how that works. Yeah, that's a hell of a friend right there. We should all be so lucky. Chasing down his friend because he found a bloodied medallion. Nothing really to go on, just risking it all, looking for the homie. Solid enough. We'll definitely try and help Brackus if we get the chance. Speedy Light Feet gives you athletics, and when the wearer dashes or takes a similar action during combat, they gain 3 lightning charges. Send those over to Lae'zel. I don't think Lae'zel currently has boots, so heavy backpack. Smoke Powder Satchel. The smoke powder inside explodes when ignited, damaging everything in the vicinity. And the baguette. Alright, Shadowheart, I think you can hold the explosives. Don't necessarily want to give those to Lae'zel. Might be a little reckless with those. Especially given the way Astarion keeps talking to her. I might turn around and see that she tosses that at good old Astarion. I think that takes care of that.
Seems simple enough.
How long we've been going? We've been going for 46 minutes. Let's finish up the Goblin Village. We have plenty of time, right? We can finish up this little place. There are a lot of secrets inside this place that we definitely don't have time to mess with currently, but we will. Goblin Brawler. Astarion.
I bite.
I'd like you to one-shot him if you can.
You're mine.
You friend.
Should mind my step.
Moss-covered chest. Well,
Don't touch me.
thankfully I have an immunity clause for any kind of locked items. Give him a bonus just in case, although I doubt he needs it at this point. Yeah, 32 out of 15. In here we have a haste helm. I'll give that to Lae'zel too, actually. Sleep.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Fishbone. Take those all the way to the bank.
Good here, I hope.
We gotta fast travel now too. Where were the other goblins lying in ambush for us? They're over yonder. One right here. We have 2 here as well. Yeah, that's important. I'm surprised they didn't see us already.
I've got a long road ahead.
Okay, let's not get spied by those yet. I wonder.
Assume nothing.
Oh, you can. Introduce yourself, Lae'zel.
Where you ain't all a bloody booyak. Someone's got there first, and you ain't learnt your lesson.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Now, unfortunately, this cutscene is showing us up here, but it's not gonna teleport us up here when the combat starts. So we could intimidate, but I'd honestly much rather just slaughter him.
I will.
Lae'zel, since you were the party that was offended right there, introduce yourself. Smash to dust. And just because we can. And our other combatants are across the ways. So Astarion. Yeah, target is way too far. Let's see. Gonna have a high ground disadvantage, but the damage might just make up for that. It didn't. He managed to live. Interesting.
Well, so much for peace.
Alright. Let's see. What can we do about you? We can shoot icicles at you if we move up, perhaps. No, I do not have the movement for that. Oh, poison spray is too high. Alright, so let's do this first. Get some even ground, Shadowheart. How far can you yeet your radiance? She doesn't have the range for any of that either.
A dull moment.
Alright, let's just end. There's no way they can do enough damage to really make a difference, honestly. Astarion, I'm sure you're eager to get even about that, so... Beautiful.
Time to strike.
Laser.
Taste my fury.
I won't give in.
Now it's our turn. A spy icicle. Cast magic at me, I cast magic at you. Quick little hop up on this roof. Man, imagine being able to jump like that in reality. I'm gonna get my character in the Olympics.
Not as bad as it could have.
Not the camp. They have shabby wooden doors down here. That was a Githyanki, but it's not, it's a skeleton. There's like a random dead Githyanki laying right there. Oh, hello, alcohol. Where were you at? That's where it is. Anything that's going to enable us to rest more, I'm going to take, because... Again, I mentioned it at the start. We're not necessarily the best player ever, even modded, so... It's not the camp. I'm going to need my long rests. Hello, shabby place. Get that torch out. A pleasurable deal, the shocking truth. Below is a transcript of an interview with the writer and director of A Pleasurable Deal, Mr. Kingsley Harp. Interviewer. What was the inspiration behind this, if I may be so bold, entirely lewd piece of drama? It's about exploring the taboo, seeing who we, as people, really are. Yes, Robert makes a deal with a Cambion, but who wouldn't? Interviewer. Well, I like to think most people wouldn't. Harp. Then you don't know most people. Everyone wants something. Everyone needs something. Cambions can see it. In a way, they know us better than we know ourselves. But at the end of the play, Robert dies horribly. What does that say about what we, as you put it, need? You forget. Robert dies because he broke away from Carlisle. He didn't stay true to the deal they made. So you're encouraging people to make a pact with Hell's offspring, to give up, as Robert did, his soul. We only have one life. Why not make the most of it? So, what was your deal? I beg your pardon? In fact, this was your directorial debut, wasn't it? You couldn't even get published in the tabloid Baldur's Bash before this play came out. Did you honestly trade your soul for an erotic play? Alright, we're done here. It sounds like he sure did. Nothing like a crossroad deal to get your directorial debut, I suppose. How do you guys feel about that, the whole crossroad deal thing? If you could, would you? Like, let's pretend for a second that such a thing was possible. You could make a crossroad deal for anything you want, but you know there's always going to be a price. I wonder, would you take the deal? Would you make one? If you would, what would you make the deal for? Personally, I wouldn't, because there's always a catch to things like that. And any kind of thing that messes with the natural order of business of the world tends to make me a little uncomfortable, honestly. I don't think I would, but... Well, I'd like to think so, at least. Maybe if the situation was desperate enough, perhaps. Or likely, I feel like what I would end up doing is making a deal for somebody else, not myself. Like if a loved one or something like that was dying, maybe I would be convinced of doing it for their sake, but... I must say, for a place with so many orcs and goblins, Thesk is a remarkably pleasant land. A true melting pot where all are accepted, and quite a lot seems to be permitted. Alas, the crew I sailed here with were imprisoned by the harbour master, but I was soon on the road known as the Golden Way, and it lives up to its name. The wealth of a continent marches along this road. Furs from Neverwinter and iron from Nashkel flow in one direction, while silks and jewels flow the other. I have heard so many stories of the world. The Golden Way passes through Rashimin, through the wastes of the Hordelands, and on to the continent of Karatur, a land of empires, dragons, and beasts I've never dreamt of. I am so close to Rashimin, but what once was my dream now sounds so mundane. Last night, I made camp and was joined by a charming fellow. I told him my dream of seeing Rashemin, and he laughed. He claims that Rashemin is nothing compared to Thay, and invited me to visit the court of the Zolkias. It seemed rude to turn down such an illustrious invitation, so I will see what this Thay has to offer, then Rashimin and beyond, rather. Now, we're in a drab little place currently.
Trap. Be cautious.
It is trapped. Well, that means Astarion. You're up. If there's ever going to be a party member we put at risk of exploding, it's definitely going to be the vampire. A little armory we found down here. Absolutely it is. A sickle, a dagger. Highcliff's blueprints. And that's our character. I imagine those blueprints are for the masterwork crafting plans we saw outside. That's going straight back to camp in case we need it at some point. At least I'll carry that. What do we have in here? Steel-forged sword. And blacksmith notes and infernal iron. Interesting. Send that to us. Specimen metal. Hardness 9.5. Melting point unknown. Color silver. Markings. Red lacerations flecked with yellow dust. Source. Underdark. Notes. Gift from redacted. Faintly sulfuric odor. Forging unsuccessful. Will not melt or warp at standard temperature. Somebody ended up giving whoever was here a little infernal iron sample. Of course, he couldn't do shit about that in a regular forge.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
And here is the forge itself.
Need to find a way forward. Look at that.
Well, we have just the person to throw hands at this. Lae'zel has a big blunt weapon that can smash walls to pieces.
Never a dull moment.
Now, this leads somewhere that looks like it is a situation for a second trip, so we'll come back to that. So it has been going a while, so I want to finish up the village if we can before we wrap up and get rid of the rest of the goblins that are in there, so head back out. We can take a second long rest. We're almost done with this.
Let's see what this does.
We did get a fast travel already to come back here, so... Antidote, healing, sleep. Now there's some very cool things you can do. I know I need to keep poison for something that's going to be relevant to us. But I wonder if you can spike things with potions of sleep. Because there are situations where you can poison wine or beer kegs inside enemy strongholds, and then all the enemies will keel over. They'll be poisoned. Which is very cool that you can do that. I wonder if you could do something similar with a sleep potion. Maybe I'll try that. The ledger is filled with cultivation instructions for a range of medicinal plants. One entry is underlined. Deliver specially requested plants to the cellar. Keep away from prying eyes.
It says there's a cellar here somewhere.
extracts the rule of three.
See one.
A long-winded introduction explains that Haskin Zeslefin's notes, published as in from their work journal, have helped bring alchemy to the masses. It starts with a full history on the Dragonborn, who had been descaled as a teenager and started their alchemical research in hopes of restoring their hide. As the page turns, it continues to wax poetic about how Zefsilfin put aside their own research to help the common people. Much more interesting, though, are Zes's actual research notes. We're just going to call them Zes, because I have no idea how to pronounce that. I have decided I shall make all my notes, both those written and those still to come, available to those who would wish to study. You, reading this text now, are probably one such person. As enticing as potion making is, we shall first start with the most basic alchemical rule, the rule of three. Most ingredients can be found throughout Faerûn. However, they need to be refined to be of any use in alchemy. Doing so is simple. Just combine 3 of the same ingredients, and you will obtain an extract, which can be used to brew potions, poisons, oils, and elixirs. So remember, 3 of the same ingredients make an extract. Or in rhyme form, if you like, when in doubt with alchemy, just recall the rule of 3. Thrice the same ingredient forms an extract. Excellent. That doesn't quite rhyme, but sure.
You sniffing where you ain't ought to be, friend? Might have to take that nose. Bloody booyag! Ha!
As the symbol glows,
Okay,
power
so
course.
I'm not sure which one soars actually, but we'll go ahead and give them the sweet release they want.
Sounds like fun.
Thank you, Astarion. We send him to the afterlife too, I suppose.
Nothing important is ever easy.
This will hit both of them actually, so. Of course, they were saved by it. And dip our character back here.
Victory awaits.
Blazer. Sure, you'd like to get even here. And Shadowheart. It's 15 health. Looks like we'll need another turn to take care of this fully. 45 is a pretty low chance, but she still hits a 10. That's such a good roll. What is this little shit gonna do? Always with the thrown weapons.
I am fury. I am death.
Here you go, Lizzo. I'll let you get back. Walk you out of the acid if we can.
There's blood in the air. Break them.
And everybody, step out of the acid, please. Well, there's the hatch that you said you couldn't find, Astarion. Didn't look around very hard, did you? I'm not gonna do that yet, though.
What's inside?
We're gonna try and finish off the rest of the goblins in this place. Did notice some trolls in this house. We are gonna get to that too, which might actually be quite tough. Probably need to rest and resupply before that fight.
I'm exhausted.
But we have a lot of
Soon.
we have a lot of money on the line here anyway because of how much we've collected from this village. So I think a nice rest is a good protocol, regardless. In this year, 950 DR, there can hardly be a more prosperous and fortunate town than Phandalin. Phandelver's pact has brought prosperity to this land, splitting the wonders of Wave Echo Cave between gnomes and dwarves. The town now boasts thriving communities of both peoples, living and working together in harmony. We've also tempted human spellweavers from all across the north to our town, who are happy to work side by side with the allies of Phandelver's pact. Mayor Alderleaf invites you to come and witness this miracle yourself. See the powers being uncovered in the Forge of Spells and the prosperity this power brings. I dare say Neverwinter will soon have a new rival for the title of Jewel of the North. I don't think that aged well, looking at the current state of repair of this place. Household prayer. Lathander to lie, Selûne to guide, Kelemvor to judge, and passage provide. That's nice. It sounds like the whole now I lay me down to sleep prayer in Christianity. It's something similar to that.
Open up.
Right. We just have these few goblins down at this gate to deal with. For the sake of Lae'zel's insecurities and not hurting her feelings too bad, I'll be the one to get caught this time so she doesn't have to get insulted on her nose again.
You sent from Moonrise, Drow? Because otherwise I'll have to cut you.
I believe you'd like to try, but I don't think you'll succeed.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
What do we have? We have plenty of things here. Let's just get rid of him. The threat was enough to deem death.
A better position.
Oh, I thought I killed you outright. Glad I paid attention to that.
What should I do? Moving.
You should do. Alright, you can't sneak a fireball into him. Okay, then you can just end your turn. That's what you should do. Lae'zel can yeet. Get his attention for me, Lae'zel. I'll give him a chance to do something. The Warg summons is cheeky. But not all too strong, apparently.
No choice but to keep going. Best be on my way.
Let's crumble him to dust. Oh, we don't have Symbiotic Entity, that's why. That doesn't do much if you don't have Symbiotic Entity. Drag him over here a little.
I'm ready. Got to press on.
Go a fireball at this little goblin for me. And Lae'zel gets the last laugh. Some justice for all the insults she's had to suffer. The poison, we'll try and put that to some sneaky use later. Alright, and that is the goblin horde removed from Blighted Village. We just have some trolls and some little sneaky side quest things to take care of, but we'll do that another time. We also have this little basement to deal with too.
No traps, please.
The main thing I'm worried about here, out of all of this, is this fight in here. This will be tough. These three are tough ones.
Still breathing.
There's multiple outcomes to those, but I'm just gonna kill them. You can totally get them on your side. If you play it right, you can get a horn out of them, and then you can summon them into a fight, but I'd rather have the XP, honestly. Speaking of XP, yes, we are pretty close. We need 269 to hit level 4, which, thanks to our mod, means a new feat. So that'll be cool. I think we might get our first access to extra attack up 4 as well, but I'm not sure. I don't remember what that mod exactly said. Anyways, alas, that is going to be a wrap for this episode, so thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Baldur's Gate 3. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.